Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati maishtaki mukam karoti vachalam bhangam langayate girim yatkripātamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Thank you again for those who joined just now for the Bhagavatam study. We are reading Canto 8 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, chapter number 20. Bali Maharaj surrenders the universe. And so far we have read till text number 6, where we were discussing different reasons given by Sri Bali Maharaj as counter arguments or to justify how his giving in charity was the right thing. Shukracharya gave 9 reasons to not give charity and kind of take back the promise, but Bali Maharaj is giving multiple reasons to continue with this promise. So we discussed 4 reasons so far, and the fourth reason was that everything is temporary at the time of death. Whether one is a beggar or a king, no one is going to take even a particle of sand with him or her. When the Alexander the Great was, but in the graveyard, he said, "When I die, leave my hands like outstretched." Hmm. Someone asked why. He said, "Because I want the world to know that when I left the world, there was nothing in my hands. My hands were empty." So, in short, whether we are who we are, that doesn't matter. How much wealth we have, that doesn't matter. But one thing is for sure, that no one is going to take anything with them. That's the Bali Maharaj speaking. Let's see the next reasons. Text number 7. Shreya kurvanti bhutanam sadhavo dushtyaja shubhis sadhavo dushtya ajash shubhihi Dadhici Sibi Prabhrityah Ko Vikalpo Dhara Disho. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Dadhici, Sibi and many other great personalities were willing to sacrifice even their lives for the benefit of people in general. This is the evidence of history. So why not give up this insignificant land? What is the serious consideration against it? Purport. Bali Maharaj was prepared to give everything to Lord Vishnu, and Shukracharya, being a professional priest, might have been anxiously awaiting, doubting whether any there had been any such instance in history in which one had given everything in charity. Bali Maharaj, however, cited the tangible examples of Maharaj Sibi and Maharaj Dadhici, who had given up their lives for the benefit of the general public. Certainly, one has attachment for everything material, especially one's land, but land and other possessions are forcibly taken away at the time of death, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Mrityu sarvas haraschaham. The Lord personally appeared to Bali Maharaj to take everything he had, and thus he was so fortunate that he could see the Lord face to face. Nonetheless, however, sorry, non-devotees, however, can not see the Lord face to face. To such persons, the Lord appears as death and takes away all their possessions by force. Under the circumstances, why should we not part with our possessions and deliver them to Lord Vishnu for his satisfaction. Sri Chanakya Pandit in this regard says in this regard, San nimitte varam tyago vinashe niyate sati. Chaitanya Shloka 36. Chanakya Shloka, I'm sorry. Since our money and possessions do not last, but will somehow or other be taken away, as long as they are in our possession, it is better to use them for charity to a noble cause. Therefore, Bali Maharaj defied the order of his so-called spiritual master. Hare Krishna. Very, very nice verses here. He's giving. Now, Shukracharya may be asking, hey Bali, is there any proof? Like you're going too above and beyond this. You don't have to go so much. You want to give everything to the Supreme Lord? Are there any historic proofs? So, reason number 5 here. He's giving 2 historic proofs. Who knows the story of the Dadhici Maharaj? Who would like to share in a brief? Who knows the story of the Dadhici? Raise your hand.
So, that I don't remember the exact which chapter is this, but the Lord sends the demigod to Dadhici approach his body actually to take care of the Vratasura. So there we read all this.
Thank you. Anyone wants to add to that?
He's born. Give it to.
So the Dadhici first tries to make little fun of them, like why should I give up my body? And then the demigods try to convince him that this is the best thing to do is to give your self so that you can help others. And anyway, death will take everything away. So, but he already knows the principle, and he was just testing the demigods, and he very happily gives away his life so that demigods can win against the Vitrasura and other demons. Thank you, Prabhu Dandavats. And that's how the weapon is made to kill Vritrasura.
It's from his bones that special weapons was
Thunderbolt.
made.
Thunderbolt.
Vajra. And even Vritrasura said that this weapon has been made under Lord's kind of plan. This will work. Have faith. So the point here is that the person knowing very well, that they have come to take my life, he gave it up. Because anyways, body will die. But in this body, like look at Bhakti Charu Maharaj. When he came, what was his reason to come? He said, anyways, the same thing. I have to give up my body here or there. I want to give up on the battlefield. In the last lecture, how can I leave my soldiers alone on the battlefield? So, pure devotees have that consciousness. So, these are not just historic examples, they are right in front of us if we have the eyes to see. So almost all the Prabhupada disciples and so many other wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, they are practically giving up their whole self for the movement, for Srila Prabhupada, for propagating the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Because sooner or later, it will go only. Right? Whether we are a devotee or non-devotee, the body will die. Of this there is no doubt. Mrityu sarva harascha. But Prabhupada is making a beautiful point here. For a devotee, the Lord will come face to face as Bali Maharaj. But for a non-devotee, Lord will come in the form of death and forcibly take everything away. That's a very important point. The difference in the death. We give this example. The cat picks the kitten and the cat picks the rat. The cat when picks the kitten in the mouth is same, the cat is same, the grip is same, but the destination is different. So death for a devotee or bodily, the bodily perishment or the death of the body of the devotee and the death of the body of a non-devotee may appear to be same, but the destination is totally different. One is seeing the Lord face to face. Dhruva Maharaj, the death became a stepping stone to put on the climb as a ladder to sit in the Vaikuntha airline plane. Death became a stepping stone or a ladder. Same with Shibi Maharaj. You know this famous story how that you want to share. Yes, Maharaj.
I just wanted to add that at the end, after you shared, that Radhika Raman Prabhu says in one class very nicely, a devotee sees death as an invitation by Lord Krishna. And you can continue with Shibi Maharaj's story. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's beautiful. In short, a devotee is not afraid of death. Well, it has to come sooner or later. And devotee is ready. Krishna, if you want to take me, that's fine. Whatever plan you have for me, I'll just follow it. I'll do my best, whether here or there. So Shibi Maharaj also very, very noble king, and the demigods came to test in the form of a dove and a hawk, eagle.
Hawk.
A hawk and a dove, right? The pigeon and the dove, and the hawk. So the hawk was chasing this dove, and then he came to the lap of Shibi Maharaj. Maharaj, I am a resident. I am your praja. That was the standard. Every living entity is considered praja. Every living entity is like the Raja would consider the as their own child. So the king said, "Okay, hawk, this person has taken my shelter. It's my duty to protect. We can do something. I can give you the flesh of my own body, the equivalent flesh. Let's say the dove measures half a kilogram or 1 pound. I'll give you 1 pound of flesh from my own body. You let the dove go." And then hawk says, "Well, if I don't eat, then I'm also your praja. My dharma is to eat these people, right? I don't eat grass. I have to eat someone." So it was kind of what to do. So Shibi Maharaj was ready to cut off the flesh from his own body and give to the dove. Sorry, the eagle. And he did that. He chopped off a portion of his flesh, put in a pan, put the dove on one side, but the dove was heavier. He cut off more part of the body, put there, dove was still heavier, the pigeon was still heavier. He was chopping off parts of his body again and again. But the pan side, the dove was heavier, and it was not leveling. So it was kind of weird, right? So very, very weird. And then ultimately he was about to, because all the body was gone. It pretty much chopped off all the body, and the only part left was head. He was about to chop off his head and put on that. And then these demigods appeared that we were testing you. Look at the glory of Shibi Maharaj. Was willing to sacrifice his own self for not his blood son, not his wife or husband or mother or father, but a bird, a bird in his kingdom. So we can imagine the amount of the qualities, you can't even imagine it. So these are the examples quoted by Sri Bali Maharaj. So I must follow that. These people gave up their life. I can't just give up this tiny land. So that's the point here. Okay, Prabir Prabhu, you want to read next verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 8. Jayer iyam bhubuje brahman Daitendrer Oni Bhattivi Tesham Kalo Agrashillokan Na Jasho Odhigatam Bhubi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O best of the Brahmanas, certainly the great demoniac kings who were never reluctant to fight enjoyed this world, but in due course of time, everything they had was taken away, except their reputation, by which they continue to exist. In other words, one should try to achieve a good reputation instead of anything else. Purport. In this regard, Chanakya Pandit, Chanakya Sloka 34 also says, Ayusha Kṛṣṇa eka apina labha sharna kotibhi. The duration of one's life is extremely short, but if in that short lifetime one can do something that enhances his good reputation, that may continue to exist for many millions of years. Bali Maharaj therefore decided not to follow his spiritual master's instruction that he deny his promise to Bamandev. Instead, he decided to give the land according to the promise and be everlastingly celebrated as one of the 12 Mahajans. Balir Bayashakir Bayam. Hare Krishna. So here again is a good learning point here Srila Prabhupada is making through Bali Maharaj. That as Prabhuji was saying, that nothing material thing we can take with us, but at least the reputation is going to stay back. And as we can see, actually from Srila Prabhupada or previous acharyas, actually, we can see like in our lifetime, within last 500 years, Srila Rupa Goswami, all the Sara Goswamis or the associates of Mahaprabhu. Then we can see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how he revived the Gauriya Vaishnava culture. And then it was given a, like actually it's shaped by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Prabhupada gave it a realistic way, and his disciples are continuing that. So we can see that Prabhupada's, especially Prabhupada's reputation, and through him, the other paramparas are going to be at least minimum 10,000 years, because his books are going to be here. So the reputation that for humanity they worked, we can see that to relieve the all the sufferings, miseries of this material nature by giving the Kṛṣṇa consciousness to everybody without any discrimination. That is the highest charity work was done by Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. So that reputation is going to be continued, actually. So here Bali Maharaj is confirming that we should do charity for the good of the humanity. Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So nice. There must have been so many millionaires, so many billionaires in the past, right? In the present also. But how many kind of We just keep going and, right? Coming and going. But the point here is fame. Not in the way of pride, but in the way of doing wonderful, great spiritual activities. Like we all know about Prahlad Maharaj, the great Mahajan, Bali Maharaj, Sri Ramanujacharya, Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada. Some appeared hundreds of years back, some appeared thousands of years back, some appeared tens and thousands of years back, some appeared millions of years back, as mentioned here. The lifetime may be short, that doesn't matter. But what we do in that lifetime, that certainly matters. So great soul gave their life for a higher cause, and that made them eternal. So, and of course, Bali Maharaj also followed the footsteps, and therefore we are glorifying Krishna's devotee like Bali Maharaj. Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, thank you, Prabhu, for allowing me to speak. One very nice comment recently I heard was Canto 9. There are many, many names. You know, the name of all Lord Rama's ancestors comes, and then also the descendants of Sain dynasty comes. And I believe Moon dynasty is also stated there. And if one is reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it gets to be repetitive names, just name after name after name after name, you keep on reading. And very, very nicely, one Nanda Mataji pointed out that it's so glorious kings. They were the best in their times. They come from Lord Rama's dynasty. I mean, who else? I mean, how else that is? That's the most amazing thing one can achieve, probably, is you are in Lord's dynasty, you're born. But again, you just remain as a list of name. So it's how much ever glorious life, you know, this it becomes just a name later. So it's very nice what Bali Maharaj did. His name is so glorious and so celebrated in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam by giving everything to Lord.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, we can read maybe one more verse. Text 9. Anyone who hasn't yet read today wants to read? Babu, Puna Mataji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam. Text 9. Sulava yudhi prasur hani britasthanu yajam natartha tirtha ayate shraddhayaye dhananjaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Jai. O best of the Brahmanas, many men have laid down their lives on the battlefield, being unafraid of fighting, but rarely has one gotten the chance to give his accumulated wealth faithfully to a saintly person who creates holy places. Purport. Many Kshatriyas have laid down their lives on the battlefield for their nations, but hardly a person can be found who has given up all his property and his accumulated wealth in charity to a person worthy of the gift. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, datavyam iti yaddanam diyate anupakarine dese kale cha patre cha tad danam sata vikam smartam. That gift which is given out of duty at the proper time and place to a worthy person and without expectation of return is considered to be charity in the mode of goodness. The charity given in the proper place is called satvik, and above this charity in goodness is transcendental charity, in which everything is sacrificed for the sake of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vamana Dev's Supreme Personality of Godhead had come to Bali Maharaj for alms. how come one gets such an opportunity to give charity? Therefore, Bali Maharaj decided without hesitation to give the Lord whatever he wanted. One may get various opportunities to lay down his life on the battlefield, but such an opportunity as this is hardly ever obtained. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Any comments, Mataji?
It's about, Prabhuji, my understanding, giving a charity in a right place is very important. And especially in this purpose, Prabhupada has mentioned how fortunate Bali Maharaj has been that Lord himself came in the form of Bamandev, and he could give whatever he was asked for. And normally people in the battlefield, they just sacrifice their life for nations for so many different causes, but laying down yourself, like Bali Maharaj just put his head and give everything to Lord, offer everything to Lord, or whatever Lord was looking for, he just provided everything in charity. And that's like very few soul will get that kind of opportunity in like million years, Prabhuji. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Please enlighten.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Reason number 7 here. The rarity of this chance to give in charity. Rarity of charity. So, when devotees come to ask, when Krishna comes personally to ask, is it an ordinary chance? So, the point is then laying the pran in the battlefield that's also very difficult, but millions do. But we don't know a lot of record about like situations like Bali Maharaj, that they gave everything in charity. Maybe we know a few situations. We discuss some examples, but giving the life in the field, we've heard of so many battles and so many people giving up their lives, but not like this. And that too, giving to the Supreme Lord is the rarest of the rare thing. Because what do they do? To give, but rarely has one gotten the chance to give his accumulated wealth faithfully to a saintly person who creates holy places. Isn't that amazing? All the devotees who are helping Srila Prabhupada and his mission, who helped, are kind of following in the footsteps of Bali Maharaj. Like his Jayananda Prabhu. He gave whatever he had. The money which his parents gave to take care of his treatment for cancer, he said no. He gave it for book distribution, book publishing. Everything to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada created holy places, so many temples, so many books. Tirtham kurvanti tirthani. Na tatha tirtha ayati. On the arrival of a saintly person who creates the holy places, we'll discuss this point. The saintly person creates tirthas wherever he goes. So to give charity to those souls who are serving in the mission of Lord for the right cause is even not just in the mode of goodness, it's in the pure goodness. So one must do one's best, because such opportunities are very rare, and it's very important. It's a dharma of Grihastha as well. So any other comments anyone has in this text? Bali Maharaj is giving multiple reasons, so we'll continue to study this. So far we have covered 7 reasons till this point. Any quick comments, questions before we close?
Prabhuji, in Tallahassee, the new temple is getting built, Hindu temple. And this is the point they hammer, the management. It's a rare chance for you to, once in a lifetime chance for you to donate this temple. And based on this point, entire time come forward and like they raised the $3 million here. So I just remember by reading this that you get a rare chance once in a lifetime to give such a kind of a donation, and the temple is just right nearby your house. How many times you get such a opportunity? And that's what in their agenda I just see. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we can. I'll not comment on that. But yes, we just need to look at the good in everyone and keep trying our best and try to please Srila Prabhupada with the best of intentions. And ultimately, see, Kṛṣṇa does not need money. Ultimately, if one is giving charity to the right cause, in the right spirits, in the right mission, with the right intention, it's for one's own spiritual progress. So we must do our part. Okay, yes, Prabir Prabhu wanted to say something.
Say that to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, one time someone asked him, that Maharaj, when we give donation, there are some kind of proudness or pride comes even in the. So Maharaj was saying what Bali Maharaj is mentioning here. Maharaj was saying that, as you were mentioning also, that Kṛṣṇa doesn't need. When we are given the chance, opportunity to contribute, to give some charity, Kṛṣṇa is giving us the chance to participate in his service. So take that way, that we are fortunate. So we can see that in Bali Maharaj's statements here. He's not proud of giving the charity.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.